Hello and welcome back to Minecraft Crash Landing. I moved everything over and I made a gold chest to hold saved resources. The last video ended before it should have because the Feed the Beast launcher broke and I had to transfer everything to Prism launcher, which I only found out after finding a Discord for Crash Landing. I also decided to set up the pulverizer and put a few survivalist generators in there, enough to generate 80 RF per tick. I then decided to make a water creation area. I don't really have a better wood besides that, but I surrounded it by glass because I had a lot of excess glass and I figured if it's in a room by itself then it might dispense lower heat on the outside of the room than it would on the inside. I do think rooms separate heat. I also completely sealed in the mastaba. Now on the top there's some glass. I think once I get Tinker's construct set up, I can smelt cleared glass that won't have the middle stuff, so it could actually look like a hole. And then I can probably find some way to prevent things from getting on top so it wouldn't ruin the illusion. I also put a grate in the chimney so spiders can't get in. In the future I will probably do glass at the top. I'm not sure if this actually blocks heat from coming in. So with the pulverizer I can make pulverized iron, which I can mix with pulverized ferrous material. Ferrous material is generated when pulverizing iron or tin at a 10% chance. I believe this also works with the grindstone, but because I have the pulverizer, I just decided to, break down iron, because it also gives you a little bit of extra ore. Now this is actually a lot more in the video where I go through the process, but because of the audio mix-up, I don't really feel like dubbing over like 10 minutes worth of just like audio that sounds like it's just exists as like a keyboard. But with that ferrous material and iron material, I can make Envoy Blend, which I need for a hardened portable tank, and I believe it's slightly better than iron. But one of the important things I wanted to do was I wanted to break down some obsidian to make a vacuum hopper. Now, you might be wondering why the obsidian is out there. I wanted to see if the diamond hammer could do anything against it. It can't. And sometimes Wallius does so, like what materials break down into what, based on what tools you have and stuff. But also, there's a crafting recipe where you use a diamond pickaxe, but I believe that uses up the diamond pickaxe, while mining it outside gives you 2 hits. So that means, another piece of obsidian you can break down. But with the vacuum hopper, I can get it from the sieve very easily, and I want to start breaking down stuff from gravel into, the respected ore type, because that gives you a chance of having slightly more ore types. And then if you pulverize, the dust version of that ore, you get 2, I believe, per pulverization. So that extensively probably gives you about 2.5 if you break down from gravel, but you might want to break down for sand or dust because there's different ore types based on that. Like for instance, dust gives you redstone and glowstone, and also such as quartz dust, which is kind of useless because you get too much, and I can't really use any of it right now. And I don't even think I need that much. I also decided to throw some glass covers onto the vacuum hopper so nothing can get sucked in from the outside, because I still drop items from my inventory if I don't need them to despawn them. There's no void chest, void bin in the inventory menu. That comes in with a lot more not enough items, or is it too many items? I can't remember which one tells you the information at the moment. But with the Envar, I can make the portable hardened tank, and that holds a lot more water, and I can bring it along with me when I explore for cities and stuff like that. I also prepped some glider wings. Basically, I'm just doing the exploration quest line, because I'd rather do that all in one go rather than come back and, make the glider or whatever. Plus the glider can give me a lot of distance. So I gather up some food and my water tank, and I decide to dust upwards so that I can take the glider and go to where the book says there might be a city, which is north, but the map is not set to the old north, so I end up going the wrong direction the first time. At least I assume I do. But the main issue with like losing the audio that I had before is exploration is kind of like, you know, you're in the moment, and like looking back on it, it's just like, yeah, I go through to this city and I look around and I find nothing, and then I go to another city and I find nothing, and then you repeat that like 6 times. And I do appreciate looking at the base I had before and seeing the little like ravines I have dug through. Does make me feel glad because of how barren the world is. It adds depth, it adds like characteristics. So I want to increase my carving out the land. I do have some ideas for some cool pieces of carved out land that I can't really do till I get like a tinker's excavator, cause then it will be a lot faster. In fact, I want to wait till I get the tinker's excavator, the tinker's smeltery, so I can make a lumber axe to like really go ham on some wood, which then I can turn into just like pure fuel for the survivalist generators, and that should never run out. Plus I can use the charcoal for other things. I will say the glider does go faster if you hold down shift, but I didn't really learn that till later. But the first glider thing was uneventful, so I go back, I use a torch to break down my dust pillar, which is why I made it out of dust. I eventually want to make a tower to like glide off of, but that would take a lot more resources that I don't have, because I want the tower to look nice and in the style I want to do. It would take a lot of resources, but I can start with like a basic framework of the tower and use elevators to get up quickly. But as for now, it's dust pillar. But while exploring, night eventually falls and I do find a town, so I just use my glider to just strafe enemies and stay away from them. I don't really want to go into the town because I figure going into a building with enemies that spawn next to you is probably a very, very bad idea. Plus each building seems to have a spawner, so there are like miniature dungeons that have no loot. But yeah, I get stuck in the city for a while, just looking in buildings, exploring. Night comes, because I don't know what a factory looks like yet, so I just look around quite a bit. But yeah, I continue looking for cities and stuff, and while out, I end up being killed by a tiny zombie, and I'm so far away from the sink thing that it creates an issue where I spawn back in, but with nothing, so I'm just suffocating in a wall and I have no clue what to do because I'm going to die, and if I die, the world gets deleted. So I try to open the game up to land to like try to do a cheat or something just to like, you know, fix the game. But obviously when I go into land, pause doesn't pause the game. I do get the game working because I use NBT Explorer to set the game world to survival, and I'm not setting it to hardcore mode because it's like anytime I die I'm just gonna click the machine and wait the amount of time I'm supposed to wait. So like it doesn't really change the actual gameplay of the mod besides giving me less of a waiting period. But I did find a factory, because those were smeltery blocks, so I have to head back there to get the blocks. But yeah, since I'm back, I'm just collecting the crumbling blocks with my hammer, and then the ones I can't do, I do my pickaxe, and I can later break down those cracked stone blocks into seared things by smelting them down. And I believe eventually I can make seared blocks by using the scorched blocks, which are also around. Back to base, I attempt to make the smeltery and I try to use scorched blocks because I'm not sure what the difference between them is. And with the scorched blocks, I can't really do it, so I have to go back out to a factory, hopefully find another one soon, and then I can make the smeltery. But I also learned while looking at this system that I can make seared bricks with the scorched oven thing. I'm not sure how yet. But it's going to switch back over to live recorded audio where I don't have to basically just sum everything up, because it feels weird to emulate like experimenting in the actual game with post knowledge, so I've just been basically abridging the video up till now. But yeah, I just need to get enough scorched blocks so I can make a high oven, and with the high oven I should be able to make everything correctly in the base. But yeah, what I would do is double barrel here that connects to like a cobblestone generator. Like on the side. And then it will dispenses through a transfer node. Stuff down far enough that it won't affect me. Oh wait, I said put water on. Is it because of the torch? It might be the torch. I have this set up here. And then it will come up on the side. Let me just get a transfer node. But yeah, we'll bring that down. Fluid pipes up with a pneumatic servo. I think I can also just pick like a redstone torch next to it, but I prefer the pneumatic servo because it's just like incorporated into the pipe. And I guess my brain just fancies that a lot more because it's like cleaner. Pneumatic servo on this side. I hopefully don't have to. And then the pipe in there should fill up. Should dispense into there. I might have to extend the pipe one distance. No wait, I see the issue. Disconnect there. Now it's output. And then the pipe can go here. Okay, so that's at 6801. Let's connect the pipe there for a second. Okay, so that's good. It takes priority, I guess, on straight. So it won't bend. I can bury the system now. And then have that show up. You know what? I just will bury it. I will eventually end up moving the water system in a similar fashion. Casting table does not break down. I'm just gonna put some gold in there. And then we got molds, and then we want to move a pattern chest with a tinker's tool station. Part builder is fine over here. Put another materials than you in, which I do like every time I log in. We'll keep it there. And then I can bring over patterns that I need, or just make new patterns. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. A reason I want to get into the plastic pretty soon is, I don't know what most of the machines even do really, I'm just gonna be honest. So with this you can set up like crafting recipes that uses like liquid. So if I connect it, I believe I can have like water connected and 4 like water bottles in, and it will refill the water bottles back up. So I can make a system where I can just like deposit camel packs into a barrel or like a chest and have them dispensed on the bottom filled up. I really hate filling up the water that much. It's really a hassle. It makes me feel broken every time I do it. But yeah, I think that's enough for now. See you in the next one. Bye bye.